Hello folks, and welcome back to the jungle base, where we're at the moment having some invaders currently being cleverly processed by our traps and taken away by our team of social minions, who leave them in the door, which locks it open unfortunately. We also seem to be having some trespassers. A fair few of them actually. Some of which should probably be battled, come to think of it. Oh yes, that's quite a mess. And here I thought the Satan's chimney would be good to get rid of enemy operatives rather than our own. That's quite a disappointment, I think. It is what it is, I suppose. Out into the world, we're currently gathering up about five grand, and I'm starting to think that we haven't done any sort of acts of infamy in a while, so let's pick one. Chairman Coup. Oh, that is a risky mission. A lot of quite risky missions, except this one. Philandering Panda. Chi-Chi is the pride of China, the only male panda in captivity with the ability and inclination to actually breed. Father of innumerable infants, Chi-Chi is prolific amongst notoriously reluctant female pandas, and almost single-handedly responsible for keeping the panda population at an all-time high. Anvil has gained much recognition for preventing numerous kidnap attempts on Chi-Chi, but our plan doesn't require moving him, so we have a fighting chance. Let's see them show their faces after they find out that Chi-Chi has been neutered. Brilliant. So we need one scientist, presumably to do the deed. And we need 2 more mercenaries and 4 guards. Excellent. The Anvil people are going to be furious. At the same time, it's bedtime.
They'll live, probably.
I like your approach there, Lord Kane. Very good. Although it seems like you will fail to capture this man. Well, it doesn't matter. Also, it seems like we have overtaxed ourselves a little bit, so we will get someone to do what needs to be done. We can't have those ladies laying around. They risk damaging something. Possibly our base.
What's this?
At some point I need to set up some manner of trap in this hallway. Oh, actually, that was what I was planning on doing. Oh, see, now this is just overkill, Mikkel. And couldn't you take care of the rest while you're at it too? Terribly inefficient. terribly, terribly inefficient, as a matter of fact. Seems to me like this trap setup is working so much better than the old one for some reason. Tremendous. Oh, Colonel Blackheart is at it too. Isn't that something? We are still awaiting our minions to arrive where they need to be.
Prisoner interrogation order confirmed. Awaiting interrogation device selection.
We'll have these ladies interrogated. It only serves to bolster morale, and frankly, I don't like saboteurs in the slightest. I do want some manner of trap in here though, although I'm not sure what sort of a setup I want to go with, to be honest. That being said, let's go get that panda. After we've done this, we should probably consider moving some forces out of Anvil, because they are quite displeased with us, and we'd like to avoid any enemy invasions. Although, based on how things are looking at the moment, we are probably going to get ourselves some Patriot forces. An exceptional Patriot veteran, Sergeant Cook. Right. That's not ideal. We are probably going to find ourselves in a little bit of trouble over this. So perhaps we should take this opportunity to recruit more mercenaries when we can. Then have these folks retreat back to the safety of our base. Lord Kane, we have a job to do. Fine work. As it goes. That being said, I think I should probably tag the invading Patriot force for weakening, just as a preliminary or a cautionary measure. Just so that I can be sure that brilliant.
This is the 9th bulletin on the Hong Kong broadcasting network serving southern China and Southeast Asia. The region is in turmoil tonight following the nefarious activities of a group of minions doing the bidding of an as yet unknown evil genius. Anvil has been lambasted by its most vocal critics, who accuse the agency of defending Peking and mainland China at the expense of peripheral regions.
Actually, come to think of it, I do rather quite want to have that martial artist captured. Might be useful to have some of our folks taken care of. Oh, and she nearly got away too. Well, that's what interrogations are for. Making fairly low income at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate given that we are expecting to need to expand our laboratory a fair bit. Perhaps I should move some of these items of loot out where they could do some good. I can put the Excalibur in the training room. And maybe maybe the samurai armor could serve as actually, I want the samurai armor to be in this room here. Would serve as an encouragement for minions who end up seeing a lot of violence going on. Brilliant. Then maybe I could install some proper fixtures in this room. Maybe a couple of table tennis tables.
Object has been ordered.
And I can temporarily store some of these items in infirmary.
Caution, not all object hotspots are accessible. Object move ordered.
Now the $1 million bill clearly belongs in the strong room as well. I think just having some minions standing around in there looking at the thing is going to serve as a little bit of an encouragement for them, and also make sure that anybody trying to get in are going to be met with some resistance. Meanwhile, we have our pending laboratory blueprint, and I was thinking that since these things are all so incredibly expensive, I wanted to compartmentalize a little, because I certainly still want to use this equipment to interrogate agents. There's
Object will be moved shortly.
no real question about that. It's mostly that I also wish to make sure that in case anybody tries exploding the place,
Move order confirmed.
which I know they are liable to do, I want the equipment to be as safe as possible.
Warning, critical hotspots are blocked. Move this object to a more accessible location.
Probably something like
Object move order confirmed.
that. Although that makes this room far too large.
Object will be moved shortly.
Maybe something like
Object move order confirmed. Warning, this object is inaccessible and must be moved if it is to be used.
like this.
Object will be moved shortly.
Yeah, that looks looks fairly good, I think. I can trim some of that space off. Create a door here. And more of a controlled area for the
Object purchase order confirmed.
environment chamber and the supercomputer. Although I think that particular area is going to be separate from all of the other things.
Object has been ordered.
I think a few bends like that, so something like so. It's going to be useful. Maybe I'll just tack on another thing like that. And the greenhouse is a fairly large thing, so that gets there's no entrance to your new room, right? Right, I suppose I could always keep expanding a bit. It's a very large laboratory, but no, I'm not at all happy with how that turned out. Needs to be a little bit more compact, I think. Perhaps more along the lines that. Yeah, I think that works a bit better. Like that, just to make sure that things.
High security door breached. Object purchase order confirmed.
There we go, so the things taking up space
Object has been ordered.
isn't how should I say? Or it doesn't get too much dedicated space, rather.
Very good message.
Right, well, I see that we are starting to have some problems with Anvil, so time for us oh yes, I think Matron needs to get back indoors at her earliest convenience.
Kill tag issued. Warning. Hostile presence detected in base. Intruder tag terminated.
It's times like this I wish I had my laboratory set up so that I could
Detected on security network.
make myself some freaks. Well, this trap is working brilliantly. Okay, so here's what I will do. I'm going to just change that area up. I'm going to just take these out and remove this part of the laboratory for now. Then instruct the minions to build a corridor. Make an area leading into the lab like that.
Room construction underway.
And a fire extinguisher.
Confirmed.
And I'll approve that order.
Unpaused.
These people really are generating quite some headache for me in my quest to steal a martial artist.
Intruder tagged for termination.
Well, if anybody does run into them, they know what to do. This turned out to be a fairly adventurous episode, I think. And the one to capture the marksman specialist seems to be a difficult mission as well, really. That's rather quite interesting. Well, I think our next priority after getting the laboratory up and running is to excuse me, I'm trying to think of the best way to get rid of these people. So at the moment I'm going to have Colonel Blackheart use his psychic terror on them.
For Lord Kane.
Hardly worth the gunpowder.
Well, that did not work out so well.
Ah! You made me drop a stitch. Another one for the trophy case.
Really now. Jubei, kill this one.
Silk cut.
Made a foolish choice when he decided to split off from his group.
The boundless. Also, yeah. My go wild. What
Fortunately, they can't kill our henchmen. They can knock them out for a little bit, but that's about all they will accomplish. They can, of course, also block off the depot, which is frankly what is our biggest headache at the moment. Since if we can't get to the depot, we can't build our corridor. If we can't build our corridor, we can't construct our laboratory, and if we can't construct our laboratory, we can't get ourselves a bunch of freaks.
Unleash the monkeys!
So, problems, 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 but we'll have them taken care of. Jubei is still having a nap, as is the matron.
Time for a special treat.
So she can use her motherly love ability on Colonel Blackheart, who is administering a spoon of sugar, is she? Colonel Blackheart seems far too busy to deal with that. Danger. Exploding potatoes. Well, I believe the matron's power entails making it so that henchmen's abilities recharge faster. Which definitely seems to be the case, given that Colonel Blackheart is already able to set up new traps.
Unleash the monkeys!
And that removes the previous field of traps, I see. Well, you live and learn. This staff room needs a widescreen TV and a couple of drinks machines.
Order confirmed. Object has been
There's also an arcade cabinet. My minions have had a rough time and need to recuperate. Guard training is appallingly slow, even though I know there should be mercenaries working on it, but I presume that all of the construction workers are busy. Busy doing what is really anyone's guess.
capture tag issued.
So at the moment it seems like that trap is doing fairly well for keeping people out. I don't care for the guard shortage, so I will prioritize the training of new guards. I can also set it so that we hire ourselves new construction workers a little bit faster.
Intruder tagged for capture.
We can have both of those taken into a prison cell. My plan is to get Colonel Blackheart to go in there and beat them up so that he... Actually, I want to get Lord Kane in there to beat them up, because he nearly has his smooth operator ability, which is fairly useful. Let's see what it says. Henchman, Lord Kane. Lord Kane is an almost mythic figure in the criminal underworld. Many urban legends hold Lord Kane responsible for pretty much every major crime or disaster this century, from the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand to the Hindenburg. Unlike most urban legends, they are actually true in this case, although Lord Kane is of course meticulous in ensuring that no evidence can ever link him to his deeds. He insists to this day that his biggest crime was simply the result of a deaf lackey who misheard his order of a bit of light panic, I think, as the ship Titanic sink her. With the European aristocracy wrapped around his little finger, and the unwashed masses quaking in fear at his very name, Lord Kane is both a master manipulator and deadly combatant. So, here's the ability. Lord Kane can use his beguiling charm to convince them that nothing is amiss. If they succumb to this, they will lose all heat. This ability may fail if the agent has high smarts. So, it's useful if you need to shut someone up. And here we have Colonel Blackheart, just recuperating again after a rough time fighting the forces of justice. And at last we are seeing some training efforts in progress. We basically need 3 guards on the island in order to send them over. But it's a small amount and will be trained in no time. Especially since first tier minion training is a fairly fast affair.
Tag cleared. Prisoners released.
One can hardly be bothered.
There we go. Lord Kane can now learn the Smooth Operator ability. Very stylish.
Yes.
I'm sure it will come in handy eventually. Meanwhile, Colonel Blackheart needs his training as well. So I'll just send him in there, lock the door, order these people to hide,
Tag removed.
then clear all of these tags.
Kill tag issued. Warning, hostile presence detected in base.
Best of luck, Colonel Blackheart.
Intruder alert. Security door bypass.
I believe you will have 0 problems doing this. And Mariana Mamba shows up even. What a time we're having. There we go. And he just needs a smidge more experience to learn the Pendragon ability, which I assume is going to be useful to us somehow.
High security door breached.
High security door. Oh, it's this thing. Well, I don't mind. They can breach that if they want. I'm more concerned about the presence of this lady. It's very rarely good when she shows up.
Road construction unpaused.
On that note, it's time to command the construction of the new laboratory. It's going to be a costly room. It's going to be 200,000 for all of these, 100,000 for that, plus whatever the room itself costs, so we need to make sure that we have some people out stealing. Send in the 3 guards that we have at the moment. A little bit nervous about the soldier crowd, but it will be fine, I'm sure. What's this then? An exceptional anvil thief is attacking my my soldiers, is he? And here we have Katerina Frostonova, who is walking around and being invisible as she does. Jube, I need you to...
Some mini special great fun at the max!
Okay, Jube, I actually need you to get back into the base.
At once, Sensei.
It seems that there is a bad crowd out and about at the moment. Oh, yes. I don't think we are going to be able to ship those soldiers over to Anvil just yet. In fact, I think that is going to be very, very challenging for us to accomplish. Especially with this crowd. We really are faced with a little bit of a problem. If we had the biotanks up and running, I'd make some freaks to purge the island. I'm starting to think that is probably the best tactic at the moment.
Kill it! It's blooming fantastic!
How is Jubei doing? Oh good, Ballet is going to escort him back to the safety of the base. Right, well I see you felt the need to
Right you are!
steal the experience that Colonel Blackheart could have gained as a construction worker. If I didn't need people working on the laboratory at the moment, you would be in tremendous trouble for this. I actually scratched that. By all appearances I don't actually need construction workers. But now I've forgotten which one of them it was, so I suppose it is what it is. I'm going to have the base go on a silent yellow alert though, so that all of the military minions we have in our employ are training. Or, sorry, not training. Armed. Ready to fight. Playboy seems to be having a good old time with the TV as well. I'm very pleased to see the minions enjoying the entertainment provided for them.
Faster, faster, faster.
I'm going to have them prioritize the construction of the
Intruder tagged for termination.
They're going to find themselves in quite an unpleasant situation now. And Colonel Blackheart can learn a new special ability. That's nice. Very nice. That being said, Colonel Blackheart has quite an unexpected attitude towards things.
Also, Captain.
What can he do? We will find out next time, since we are running low on time. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Perhaps we didn't get particularly much done this episode, because, well, we have been quite occupied fighting off the forces of justice and their assorted super agents and any other kind of nasty that one can think of. Next episode, we are going to see that our biotanks will be constructed. We are going to make some freaks, and the entire island is going to know fear. But all of that will be saved for later. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, as mentioned, and do take care. Goodbye.